Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. It's happy hump day to you, Sonoma. Good morning, Shake and Bake. Hey, Paula, Miska, Sierra. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. We'll get started here in about 6 minutes. Between now and then, I'm going to say hello to my friends, do a quick audio visual check, and take a few chart requests. I got Invisalign yesterday, so excuse me if I have a small lisp. I'm getting used to it. I had it like 15 years ago and didn't wear my retainer. And I'm vain like that, so gotta have those teeth straight. So ES, we tested the daily 50 MA. We're holding. We currently have a daily inside bar. Hey, Al. Looks like everything is working on my end. Howdy. Miska, Tom. Dis, okay, I'll go over this chart and hopefully you can hear me go over this chart. Okay, Disney with a daily higher high without follow through. On the weekly, we're looking for a lower high. When you go from a higher high to a lower low, typically you're looking for a lower high due to the size of that pullback. So we're looking for a weekly lower high, daily double top. We got over this level by 27 cents. That's not a bull break. So at this point, you could look for a top fish of 112.85. If the market appears to weaken, you would want to go with the market on this. Testing the 4-hour 12 EMA. Yesterday's low, 110.86. Intraday level, you could look to top fish 112.24. Good morning. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Lock Doctor. SoFi, sure. SoFi on the weekly. This could be a diamond bearish reversal pattern, so caution. Oh, killed that drawing. Okay, turn the magnet off. Something like that. It could be a weekly bearish reversal pattern, so caution there. However, the most likely scenario first would be a weekly higher low. On the daily, we're in, I don't even know, I wouldn't even say we're in a daily downtrend. We're looking for a daily higher low. They had some news last week. I'm trying to remember what it was. We're opening up under yesterday's high, 26.74. A 4-hour lower high is more likely, so you could look for a top fish against 26.74. What was the news? It's bothering me now. That they had that common stock offering. Did they complete it? Yeah, they completed it. That's what it was. NVO, sure. NVO rejecting at the daily 50 MA. On the weekly, we're looking for a lower high on NVO. That's the more likely scenario. Rejecting at the daily 50 MA, testing the daily 12 EMA. What bulls want to see is a daily higher low in this area and then get that daily trend change. We're gapping down. 46.08 is key support. I wouldn't short the gap down. I would look for a bounce to short, looking for a 4-hour lower high. MSOS, what a beautiful sight to see. MSOS, we do have that gap. That's what that, let me undo what I just did. Yeah, 683. 683 is this gap fill here. Right now we're filling it, but just I would keep that level in mind, 683. So we're gapping up on hopeful news that Trump will be announcing reclassification of marijuana. He has a public address. I don't think it's a State of the Union. I'm not sure, tonight. And he has been hinting at rescheduling marijuana. This is running in advance of that. We got the monthly trend change. So let's just pretend, or assume, that's the right word, assume that the pre-market high of 736 is the temporary top. Then on a pullback, 655 keeps consolidation healthy. If we look at the low from Monday to the high of pre-market, 655 keeps the consolidation healthy. What bulls would really like to see is 666. Yep, that's a real number here. Was the high yesterday. So on a gap up, you want to hold the prior day high and then reverse. That is a long signal. If bulls can defend the prior day high, you don't want to see it go below 655. That's the 0.382 retrace. And then bulls that have sold in pre-market are looking for a first back burner to reload. 5-minute oversold would be around 674. So that lines up with that 666 yesterday's high, 674, the 5-minute oversold. You want to look for back burners during regular trading hours. That was pretty drilled in analysis. I'm pretty happy with that analysis. So 666, 655, watching for 5 and 15-minute oversold during regular trading hours. We pulled back about 6% from the pre-market high. That's a pretty significant pullback. I would not be buying this gap open. I would be selling the gap up open. Gap ups are typically for selling, especially on marijuana. MSTR, oh, it's 631. I need to get my butt in gear. Morning uptrend was confirmed on MSOS. MSTR, weekly potential bear flag confirms below 155.61. 4-hour 12 EMA is your bear guide. You have an hourly EQ right now. Bitcoin likely needs to change the 4-hour trend to help MSTR out of that slump. Good morning, Frank. Hood, Sonoma, I will get to Hood and I'll try to get to Uber at the end. All right. ES, on the weekly, this is still healthy, looking for a weekly higher low. We are at the daily 50 MA. That's where we bounce from. Notice that lower wick of bulls buying the dip yesterday. That is typically a decent area to look for a dip on a bull chart. This is a bull chart. On the 4-hour, we have not gotten the trend change yet. We need to get over 6892. 6892. We have VIX expiration today, which just means the monthly options expire today and roll over. So you typically have some repositioning the first half of the day, so you can sometimes get some volatile moves due to that. So bears will be looking for a 4-hour lower high compared to 6892, and then bulls will be looking for a 4-hour higher low. In Q, we're still pushing up. Notice we're over the 4-hour 12 EMA. On a pullback, bulls will be looking for a 4-hour higher low. On ES, we're just above the 4-hour 12 EMA. So NQ is faring a little bit better. So we've had XLF and XLV pushing this move up. So now today, will SMH bounce to help NQ finally go back to the leader position is the question. And that's what I'm personally looking for. RTY, we have a 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario. Now, some of these names have a little inverse head and shoulders look to them. For RTY, we're coming straight from the all-time high on RTY. We're at the daily 12 EMA. The Russell looks primed for a potential reversal. We need to get over 25.64. Sorry, Frank, I'm just now drinking my Starbucks, so I just got Starbucks. Lock Doctor, I'm with you on bros. It was my Queen of the Mountain trade yesterday to top fish it. So RTY, we're looking for a daily higher low. Dow, we're looking for a daily higher low. Look, we're right on the daily 12 EMA. There's nothing wrong with this chart. We're at the 4-hour 12 EMA. We need a 4-hour higher low and trend change. SMH. For me, this holds the key for the market today. SMH, we're below the 4-hour 12 EMA. We're looking for a daily higher low at the daily 50 EMA. This is put up or shut up time for SMH, in my opinion. This could be the star of the show, or it could be the albatross around the market's neck. We're rejecting from the hourly 50 EMA. Let's see if we can get a quick hourly higher low and change that trend. SMH is key for me today. VIX, we have a 4-hour downtrend confirmed. And look at VIX. VIX is a potential weekly bear flag, while the market is a potential weekly bull flag. That is bullish. We're in the last 2 weeks of the year. And by the way, if you're red on the year, this is not the time to say, okay, I'm going to get green on the year with the last 2 weeks. That type of pressure puts you in the wrong mindset. The goal is to work on your process for the next 2 weeks. That is your goal. Focus on the process. The results will follow. Get yourself ready and those muscles strengthened for 2026. That's what you need to focus on. Focus on the process. So VIX has a 4-hour downtrend on a bounce. We're looking for a 4-hour lower high. That's good for the market. Hang Seng was green overnight. DAX is currently red. Bitcoin is red. I actually had the thought this morning, Bitcoin is like an ex-boyfriend. I'm trying to think of the word, not a traumatic ex-boyfriend, but just that ex-boyfriend that keeps coming out of the woodwork, promising you they're going to change. And then all you see is red flag, red flag. They put on their best outfit, their fancy smelling cologne, and they still don't change their behavior. And that's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin needs to change. And to make a change, we need a 4-hour trend change here. Bulls have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. We have a little 4-hour tweezer bottom there. We need to get over 88,148. Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin. If you're comparing two names, pick a benchmark. And in this case, the 4-hour 12 EMA or 8 EMA, whatever you use, look at your EMA and where price is relative to that. Look at ETH. We're pretty far away from the 4-hour 12 EMA. Look at Bitcoin, we're right on it. Bitcoin is stronger than Ethereum and promising to pay for dinner. Exactly, Frank. Dollar, we're getting a good bounce on the dollar. We're looking for that monthly higher low on the dollar. This bounce doesn't do a lot to change the dollar weakness. And gold is still capitalizing on that. Gold potential daily bull flag. Daily higher low is just set. Gold is strong. Exactly into it. Exactly. Oh, I'll go over silver. So daily higher low set on gold. Daily bull flag still looking legit. Oil has inventory today. We lost monthly support here, but we are looking for a monthly higher low. Bulls have bounced enough on the 4-hour for a potential 4-hour higher low and trend change. We got inventory today. Let's see what bulls can do. Nat gas, we're testing the 4-hour 12 EMA. Silver says, hold my beer. Potential 4-hour bull flag. It looks beautiful. Don't push. There you go. If it is a high conviction trade and it's your setup, then take your normal position size. Don't try to size up to reclaim your year green. Apple, we are still below yesterday's low. We're right here at the 4-hour 12 EMA. We're in a daily downtrend. We're looking for a weekly higher low on Apple. We need a 4-hour trend change. So we've got the setup for 4-hour higher lows, but if we would divide the day in half, that would mean more bearish in the morning and possibly bullish in the afternoon. Amazon's gapping up on news of selling their chips to OpenAI. We're gapping up. We're looking for a weekly higher low on Amazon. We do have a weekly squeeze. The daily, we're in a downtrend. Look at Amazon on the 2-day. We're looking for a 2-day higher low on Amazon. And bulls need to hold yesterday's high on a pullback for a gap and go scenario. All right, Queen of the Mountain trades, GEV. This chart looks beautiful. Look at these 2-day double inside bars on GEV. Look at this squeeze. Chef's kiss. We're coming off of all-time highs. Daily, we've been looking for that higher low. We didn't quite fill that gap. We have a 4-hour squeeze, and look at this hourly squeeze on GEV. Trying to see when we had a recent high compression squeeze. I don't see one. GEV looks good for a leg higher for a potential swing. NVIDIA, we have an hourly squeeze and a daily squeeze, high compression, which it can fire short. We've got this tightening range, 4-hour. We're looking for a higher low. Then we need to get over yesterday's high and change the trend. For me, this is the big variable and wild card for the day. On potential weekly bull flag, weekly squeeze. Bouncing from the daily 12 EMA with a lower wick of bulls buying the dip. 4-hour squeeze. If you missed the beginning, I just got Invisalign, so excuse the lisp, and I'm trying to get used to talking and swallowing and blah, blah, blah. So, you know. Hourly squeeze, 4-hour squeeze on looks great. Potential weekly bull flag. Tesla is a little angel bug. New all-time high yesterday. $500 will be significant resistance. We have a huge wall up there. This is a potential 4-hour bull flag. You're looking for back burners during regular trading hours. We're testing the hourly 12 EMA. Uber, I said I would go over that one. Uber, daily downtrend. We're looking for a monthly higher low. Daily no longer oversold. This looks terrible. Uber's going the opposite direction of Tesla. Tesla's robo-taxis and the rollout, was it in Austin? Of not just robo-taxis, but they're whatever. It is hurting Uber. Bounces are for shorting on Uber until bulls prove otherwise. Hood weekly lower high is set. We're looking for a weekly higher low. Daily downtrend. Small gap up. Gap rules apply. As long as bulls hold 120.70 on a pullback, that is a long signal. Yeah, hit the like button. Hey, Kevin, I just went over Tesla. Tesla looks great. Yeah, oil is weak. Inventory today. Tilray gapping up on hopes of the reclassification of marijuana by Trump. We do not have a monthly trend change on Tilray. We do have it on MSOS. Bulls they're no longer, they're gapping up by 10 cents right now. 14.55 is key. If you're looking to top fish this gap up, you want it to pull back below 14.55 and then retest it and look for that lower high top fish. And MSOS and Tilray will be on back burner watch. I think I did all of the chart requests. So let me go over MSOS one more time in case you missed it. MSOS got a monthly trend change. That's bullish. Bulls are buying in hopes of this announcement from Trump. 683 was the gap over here. 683. So that is a level. Then 666 is yesterday's high. And then we did a fib pull from Friday's low to the pre-market high. Anything above 655 keeps consolidation healthy. So then your levels are 655, 666, 683. Let me take the fib off so you can see it in case you want to screenshot it. And then we looked at where would oversold be. And you only want to look for those back burners during regular trading hours. And right now that would be around 668, which lines up with yesterday's high, 666. I would be looking for a top fish closer to 736 and looking for a long closer to 650. And those back burners, you're waiting for regular trading hours to scout those. LMND looks beautiful. Looked at it this morning. Gapping up. We set the daily higher low yesterday. We are not at all-time highs. 84.52 is the 52-week high. This thing looks great. If you're a bull on it, you want to hold yesterday's high on a pullback for a potential gap and go situation. If you could hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. I forgot to show y'all the market environment dossier table is more bullish than bearish. Our economic calendar for today, we have oil inventory. Tomorrow we have CPI. And then I want to invite you to check out the Cannabis Hub. So on Chart Guys, we have a Cannabis Hub. I don't know if y'all know that Chart Guys started from Charting Man Dan. He started trading MJ stocks like 15 years ago. I may be getting the years wrong, but a long time ago. I would say he is the lead marijuana trader and the marijuana trading expert in the world. And he founded Chart Guys. So I would say we're well positioned to hold ourselves out to be cannabis experts as it relates to trading. So if you want to check out our hub, I just put it in chat. And then we have a ton of free links. If you're a newer trader and we have free ebooks and guides. If you're a newer trader, go check out those free resources. There's no need to pay for trading education when you first start out. Just dig in there and use all the free resources that you can. Thank you for being here. Give me a follow on X at CharcalLori and hit the like button. Again, use stop losses. TCG members, see you in 10 minutes.